Why two? What is up, man? This video right here is revolving around refinement. We all need some refinement. And what is refinement? I'm sure you've heard of a refinery, but that is where they kind of like perfect things or make things better. You know what I mean? Get rid of the bad and keep the good. That's what refinery is. If you think about sand and stones and gems being refined, they gotta get filtered out of the sand to find the diamonds and rubies. You feel me? People, bro, listen, we all need refinement. And that is not an attack on your character, who you are. It's just something that all humans must do at some point in life. Personally, I think refinement is much better when you're by yourself. Reason I say it's much better when you're by yourself is when you have too many other influences around you, it's hard to see what you need to refine. Refinement relates to your habits, refinement relates to your habits, your characteristics, your traits, your morals, and your principles. And for us to kind of like go back in time, man, let's think back to elementary school. Back then, I felt like when I was in elementary school, that was probably like '04, '05, man. Yeah, around that time, I feel like everybody was pure. People were nice, kind-hearted, caring, trustworthy, had a care for humanity. Bro, they just had good characteristics. I don't know how elementary is now because I'm not there. When I feel like, oh, okay, that's probably when I possess the best characteristics personally, not you, but me. Now, you think back to you being in elementary, how was you? The reason I say that is because in elementary school, bro, you didn't have a lot of negative influences unless, unfortunately, you just grew up in a bad environment and you just was exposed to a lot of things early. Outside of that, you had good morals, good principles, good traits. This same traits is observed in kids when they're younger, bro, all the way until elementary school. That's when the influences come, the friends, this and that. As adults, when we think back to how we were back in elementary school, we had great characteristics, great traits that at some point as we grew, they either got, they vanished or they trickled down to being less of what they used to be. But some of those traits changed, bruh. You could sit here and say you perfect, you've been the same since elementary school and all this, but that's false. Speaking from my personal perspective, I ain't gonna lie, I was very patient, bro. I'm a very patient guy. Over the past 3 years, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I ain't had no patience. You heard? Yo, this is what it is. This needs to get done now. That's the vibes that I was on. And it took time for me to be alone, to realize I had to refine my patience. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was around bozos all day. I was around hot boys, crash outs. So you can only have so much patience with those type of characters around. At some point you lose your patience. You might have to treat somebody. You might have to check this guy. You might have to check this guy. You know what I mean? So I needed to be alone to realize like, yo, bro, I need some refinement, man. And two things I had to refine. One was my patience. The other was my lust, bro. I've literally refined my lust over the past 2 to 3 years, seriously. And it started before then, but like as far as refining it, understanding, it's necessary, bro. It doesn't mean that, look, if you see this video, there's something wrong with you. But listen, at the end of the day, you as an adult, there's a lot of good characteristic traits that you used to have that either trickle down or you kind of forgot about. And you have to spend time with yourself and think back to what those traits were and go back and refine them and bring them back and fix them up. Working on my patience in these last 3 years, it's really been testing me. I've been tested in the sense of things not happening how I want them to happen, people treating you a certain way, disengaging certain conversations that might get you to lose your patience. So it's really been a test. But as humans, look, bro, we all need refinement. And refinement doesn't mean like something's wrong with you, bro. It just means, look, man, you gotta perfect some traits, some habits. Maybe you got a habit with gambling, you're bad with money, or whatever it is that you got going on out there. You gotta sit down and think what that is, bro. Think what that is. Take the time to slowly start to work on that. You have to work on yourself. This is the only way to grow. A lot of us got things that we gotta work on, bro. This is a fact. So start working on refining yourself, man. It's very important.